Obama is the golden boy of the West, loved by the blacks and the whites, loved by the Republicans and the Democrats. But he is as worse as they come.
The right thing to do in intervening in Libya.
President's referring there to the capture of Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi, although President Obama says he thinks the intervention went as well as it could have. He views
in the midst of war, leaders make all kinds of decisions.
With President Obama, going to go down as one of the worst presidents in the history of this country. He has been a disaster on the military. You look at we can't beat ISIS.
But we are not here to talk about America. We are here to talk about Africa.
At this defining moment, change has come to America.
Obama has won, and Africa paid dearly for it.
I never thought in my lifetime that it would happen, but it happened tonight. It's a reality and we did it.
It is no secret that America sabotages other countries for its own growth. Many of the legacy of each American president is what countries they have destroyed. Let me tell you a story of a president who ruined a country, not for the advancement of his own country, but for spite, for wokeness, for some letters of the alphabet, for LGBTQ.
In what ways has President Obama surprised you?
None. He has followed policies which have ruined the economy. He has followed foreign policies that have emboldened our enemies.
Don't bring up Obama because Obama was the biggest disappointment
Really?
to Black America and
No
also
way.
Kenya as well.
No.
Yeah.
If you look at the history of countries around the world,
It all started on the 5th of May, 2010.
We start in Nigeria, where the country is mourning with the passing of President Umaru Yar'Adua. Mr. Yar'Adua died late Wednesday at the presidential villa. He was 58.
Nigeria's acting president Goodluck Jonathan has been sworn in as head of state following the death of President Umaru Yar'Adua after a long illness.
After President Yar'Adua died, the Vice President Goodluck Jonathan became the next president of Nigeria, the fourth democratic president of the nation Nigeria. Although his rule was not perfect, in years to come, it was referred to as the best of times. In 2015, it was time for the next election, a time for Nigeria to determine the person to drive them for the next 4 years. Unluckily for Nigerians, Obama was still America's president.
The level of interference by the Obama's government was very overwhelming. It's not as if I couldn't have won the election even with that. But if by my own thinking and also the way some other people looked at it, they go outside the normal diplomatic relationship, then it should be mentioned. Sending that person to Nigeria at the eve of election, after Obama even issued a statement directing Nigerians to vote for the next chapter, that tells you something.
People of Nigeria, now you have a historic opportunity to help write the next chapter of Nigeria's progress.
And we should not sweep these things under the carpet. If a foreign country, whether African country or even America or any other country, interferes with our own elections, we should mention it. Immediately the Chibok issue came up, we expect Nigerians to be concerned. How do we get these girls out? Within a couple of days, we saw people going to the US would bring back our girls' placards. I cannot take responsibility for the abduction. I don't control Boko Haram. They are criminals. But as a president, of course, you know, it's not the president that go to the field. You have security and intelligence officers that do the work. Let me admit that, yes, maybe they do their best, but their best was not good enough for us to recover the girls. That does not mean that I'm trying to remove myself from any blame. Yes, I may not be blamed for the action, but I could be blamed that my security and intelligence system were not strong enough to be able to rescue the girls.
We all know the story. We know how it ended. We are living the repercussions. But why? Why? Why did Obama do that which he did? Surprisingly, it was not a strategic tactic to advance America. It was simply a middle finger at Nigeria for not accepting LGBTQ.
And welcome back to the 700 Club. Despite requests from African leaders to leave his views on homosexuality at home, President Obama says he plans to make gay rights part of his agenda during his trip to Africa. The president faced criticism and growing calls from LGBT groups to press the issue aggressively while in the region. While a number of Kenyan politicians and religious leaders have warned any overtures on gay rights would not be welcomed in Kenya. Homosexuality is illegal in Kenya and 36 other African countries.
It's very difficult for us to be able to impose on people that which they themselves do not accept. This is why I repeatedly say that for Kenyans today, the issue of gay rights is really a non-issue. We want to focus on other areas that are day-to-day living for our people. Maybe once, like you have overcome some of these challenges, we can begin to look at new ones. But as of now, the fact remains that this issue is not really an issue that is on the foremost mind of Kenyans, and that is the fact.
It is funny how he doesn't pull such stunts in Arabian countries.
Former head of state Muhammadu Buhari has emerged the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC in the 2015 general election.
Nationwide protests are taking place at the moment in Nigeria over worsening economic hardship. Let's take a look at these live pictures from Lagos. The demonstrations have been organised by young Nigerians using social media, and it's been inspired by the recent demonstrations that we've seen in Kenya. Authorities have pleaded for more time to fix the economy, which has seen the worst inflation in a generation, for the protests to be shelved over fears of violence. But activists...
So why are you here? For protests. I'm here for protests.
Okay, what protests? Why exactly? I can see that you're holding something here.
Because of the Nigeria is hard. And I want the president to reduce school fees, house rent and everything. I want him to reduce the price of things. And my dad can never afford the payments of my school fees, house rent and everything. It's no longer like before that I can buy biscuit of 20 naira or 50 naira. Now the biscuit is 100 naira.
It was a chain effect that started many years ago by a proud man. Because of his ego got hurt. But it doesn't matter. One way or the other, we would fix this. Because we are Africans. Because we are Nigerians.